Hello friends, today we will talk about conscience. Conscience in Tamil means manasachi. Manasachi means a witness to the mind. We are not aware of what is inside us. We have a mind, but manasachi or conscience refers to the witness of the mind, which every one of us has. Conscience, if you look at what the theologians say about conscience, this is said to be the light of God within every human. From the philosophical perspective, conscience means a lot. This is the thing which determines the moral value of human beings. Why some people are good, why some people are bad. Can the human be good without God? Are we doing good because we are frightened of God? Or is there a moral value within ourselves? There are many questions. So conscience is the subject which refers to this aspect of a human being. Let's take a practical example. Let's take the case of a butcher. His job is to cut chicken or hen, and then make the hen to die one by one, just cutting the heads off. When he cuts the hen, he does not think anything else. That is his living. He does that as his job. His actions, his words, and his thoughts are all aligned. They do not question him, why are you cutting the hen? But if you or me, if we are given the task of chopping off the head of a hen, we think. There are questions raised in our mind, thoughts are coming up saying, should we kill this? And then if we proceed, these thoughts are stored in our subconscious memory. And this is what is called as karma. So in Thirumandiram, Tirumoolar says, karma is made by the misalignment of words, actions, and thoughts. So in the case of a butcher, even though he is doing his actions by killing the hen, he is not committing any sin. This is why Jesus also says even prostitutes are entering the kingdom of God, whereas people who are regular church goers or said to be Christians cannot. This is the reason. If your words, your thoughts, and your actions are aligned without any sort of misalignment, you are not committing sin. Now, having said this, how does this conscience work? Conscience is something which comes into the play only after everything has finished. That means, let's take an example. If I have a fly in my hand, I just kill it off. I'm not using anything else apart from my mind or instinct. There is a fly, I'm just chopping it off. It is dead, and I'm not even looking at that. So here, only my mind is in action. Let's take the example of an ant trying to crawl from the ground in my leg, and it is climbing slowly in my leg. I'm looking at that. If I'm looking at that ant patiently, I can think to myself, okay, it has not bitten me yet, but it is going to bite sometime. I have the option to kill it or just put it down. What is coming into action is the moral values which we have within us plus the mind. Nothing else. Conscience is not in the picture now. On the other hand, let's take the same ant. It's trying to crawl in my leg. I'm trying to save it, in the sense I'm trying to push it down. When pushing it, it dies. Simple example. I'm trying to save an ant from my body by pushing it down. In the action of pushing it down, it dies. For some people, what comes into action is this conscience. Oh, you killed it. A voice within us will tell us, you made something wrong. That's all. If you try to question why, what, but, I did it on the goodwill basis, it is all the mind. But the conscience is the thing which comes into play only after the end effect has taken place. It does not say anything, it does not criticize, it just points out, this is where you have gone wrong. Maybe you should have done something else. It does not say you what. This is what is called as, in the book of Thomas, there is a book called the Gospel of Thomas. Those who do not know, this is one of the recent discoveries in Egypt about the sayings of Jesus. So in the sayings of Thomas, or sayings of Jesus as recorded by Thomas, and the book in general is called the Gospel of Thomas. There it said, blessed are the ones who are persecuted in their hearts, for they will have come to know the true Father. So that means persecuted in their hearts. That means it is this conscience which comes into play. Why does it not come into action in the case of a butcher? It varies. If you are educated, the so-called education, or if someone has been brought up in a family with moral values, this conscience comes into play. Not in the case of a butcher. What is the difference? The difference is the intellect or the intelligence. I'll try to give you a story from Mahabharata. Indra, after he has killed Vritra, a demon, he went hiding somewhere. And his wife Indrani was there all alone looking for Indra. At that time, since Indra, the king, was gone, all the people went and made Nahusha, another guy, as king. So this Nahusha wanted to marry Indrani, the wife of Indra. But Indrani says, no, I am the wife of Indra. I know that he is alive. I cannot marry you. At the end, the story goes a long way. At the end, Indrani goes to Brihaspati and says, okay, now tell me, what should I do? And Brihaspati advises Indrani, just take some time. And then at the end, Nahusha will approach Indrani, and Indrani tells Nahusha to travel in a cart carried by the great saints. And when they were carrying, Agastya, one saint, will push Nahusha down and he will fall down. And then after a later stage, Yudhishthira will come and rescue Nahusha. So this is the story in Anusasana Parva of Mahabharata, if you want to read it. What is the relevance of this story and conscience? To start from the beginning. Why did Indra go on hiding? It's a long story. I'll try to cover that in a different video. But Indrani's name, the wife of Indra, Indrani's name is Sakshi. That refers to this conscience in Mahabharata. So conscience is not Indra. Indra is consciousness or awareness, the pure awareness. Indrani is just the active part, the witness, but a consort of Indra. When the supreme consciousness of a human being is gone, then the mind takes over. The mind is what is referred to as Nahusha. How did the mind take the throne? Because all the elements, the Panchabhutas, approached the mind, asking the mind to be their god. That's how Nahusha became a king. Now, the mind wants to control or wants to marry the conscience, Indrani. This can never happen. The mind can never be in line with the conscience. Conscience is a different element, different aspect. It is not the part of the mind. This is why it is said in Mahabharata, Indrani or Sakshi went to Brihaspati. Brihaspati is the guru of the Devas. Brihaspati is nothing but intelligence or intellect of a human being. The difference between a butcher not having any conscience and you and me having something telling us, oh, you made something wrong, is the level of intelligence. If you see some terrorists killing others in the name of God, they are killing people in the name of God. For them this is right, because they are killing them in the name of God. What they really lack is intelligence. Nothing else. In their mind they are good. They believe that they are doing the right thing. But without intelligence, the actions which they do is of no use. So anyway, this Sachi went to Brihaspati. The intelligence says, okay, give some more time. And then Indrani calls Nahusha, asking him to do certain things. The mind has to be transformed. Again, remember, the kingship or the king was Indra, now it is Nahusha. They are the king. I'm talking about the position. The names are different. So, in the place of supreme consciousness, the mind has come into play. At that level, it tries to get hold of the conscience or Indrani. It can never, provided it can, provided the mind will be transformed, should be transformed. Unless that happens, the mind can never get hold of this conscience. And then what happens when, as per the advice of Indrani, Nahusha orders some saints to carry him, and he falls down because he will be pushed down to earth by a saint. This falling, this particular incident of Nahusha falling down is highlighted in the Bible as the fallen angel. It will be confusing if I just bluntly say this, but I need to write a big book to explain that in detail. This is the fallen angel, or in some cases called as Lucifer. It is nothing but the story of Nahusha in Mahabharata being pushed down by saying, "Go down, serpent." So this is the background. If you read the Old Testament, we will not come to any conclusion regarding this, who this fallen angel is. He was good. Was he a giant? People refer to Genesis to read about this angel in the past. Who was this? But if you want to read more about the fallen angel, refer to Anusasana Parva of Mahabharata. This is the fallen angel. I'm not saying these things to show that I know these verses by heart. No, since I'm making a video, I know how hard I struggle to read these references and keep them in my mind to make this video. So I do not know anything. So I'm just referring to the books for you to go through those books and understand. So why is this story important? It is this: is having a conscience good or bad? It is good. We should have it. In the lowest level, for people who do not have any sort of intelligence, conscience will be absent. If you have some sort of moral values, then at times this conscience will come and say something. You did something wrong here, there, that's it. And when you are being persecuted in your heart, then you yourself will change in such a way that the actions, your thoughts and your words will be aligned towards this conscience. then a transformation of your consciousness would happen.